Chilling up in the kingdom, chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the brothers and the sisters, cooling out, having fun, drinking yayan with Yahweh Shai up in the kingdom, yeah.
Who are we? It's greater than who are we? It's greater. Can't pay you.
Israel.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power.
I said, who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power. Yeah. Chilling.
Shalom to everybody online. Welcome to another live class here with ISBHUK Houston. We're located at 231 FM 1092, Stafford, Texas. 77477. Our class days and times are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 9, Friday from 6 to 8, Saturday from 10 to 2. If you're local in Houston, feel free to join us. We got a school in Virginia. They're at 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia, 23517. Their class days and times are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7 to 9, Saturday 10 to 2. You're local in Virginia, Chesapeake, Richmond. You can try to slide through the class. They'd love to have you. We got Zion out there doing this thing. We got Priest Kazakia out in Rochester, getting that going, right? We in the process of getting the school building out there, so we'll have an address for you shortly. We also got San Antonio, 4444 Walsham Road, San Antonio, Texas, 78218. All right, their class days and times Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 to 10. And they do Saturday. Their Saturday times sometimes vary, but usually it's 10 to about 2. All right, so if you're in San Antonio and you want to get a class, you can check them out. I don't know if y'all realize it, but they're starting to shut down a lot of the Israelite YouTubes, which I'm all for it, because it's going to get back to a point where you got to show up in person. It's too casual. A lot of us got this idea that let me just sit in my drawers, let me sit around, let me eat while I'm trying to learn. Like, you couldn't do that in school. You got so many distractions around you that when you do get around brothers and sisters, you still don't know how to carry and move and carry yourself, because sitting around online and not having that constant iron sharpening iron, it ain't there. So it's gonna get back to a point where you might have to pull up to a school. It's gonna go right back to that. I remember that 20 years ago. I couldn't hop on YouTube, man, or Instagram or memes to learn. I had to go to class. So, just a thought. What happens when they shut down all the YouTubes? What happens when YouTube says, you know what, enough of this Israelite stuff, enough of these angry black men, right? What you gonna do? That's a serious question. How are you gonna further your spiritual education? I hope brothers and sisters are considering that. Now, I get it. Some of us got things that we gotta handle, and just everyday life. But like the scriptures say, what will a man give in exchange for his soul? And what can a man give for his spirit? So, right now the YouTubes, everything's functioning, but don't be surprised when they're not. Don't be surprised when they're not. The Blog Talk Radio, same thing. When they want to kick us off their platforms like they did Trump, what's going to happen? You going to stop learning the truth? You just stop getting fed? Or lead on to your own understanding? What are we going to do? So Those are good questions to consider, right? Good rhetoricals. I like a good rhetorical. Good rhetorical questions for you to consider. Hey, if it's about your spirit, then you're gonna do what you got to do. Yeah, we got the Blog Talk Radio coming out of New Mexico with Mashaba. All right, so Blog Talk Radio every Tuesday, Thursday. Right, where's that at? Blog Talk Radio is, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. There's a few different teachers that do that, so you can check that out. And the good thing about it, it's a podcast. So all you have to do is you go to it, Blog Talk Radio /Mashaba, and you can download the podcast from. They got like 8, 9, 10 years worth of podcasts, all the way back. A lot of good classes on there, a lot of good breakdowns, a lot of good topics. You can check us out again. We got our tons of channels: ISBHPK Kids, ISBHPK Houston, ISBHPK Hidden Truth, Israelite Media Corp, a plethora of different channels for you to check us out. We do Kids Class Live here at the school on Sundays at 1 p.m. If you have children, get them in class. There's a few reasons why. You want to get their minds to be able to sit down and learn for an extended period of time without having electronic devices in front of them. So get your kids in class, get them used to sitting in the classroom and paying attention and participating. Social skills, very important. Or you can just watch on watch it when we upload it also, and do it that way for now. We got our businesses. We got Sweet Ambiance, right? So that's our oil business. You can go to sweetambiance.com. You can check that out. The sisters, they got the Israel wear, right? And more specifically, they got the fringed up part of Israel wear where you subscribe, you get a shirt. Oh, speaking of, after class, brother shirts, and whoever signed up, their shirts and headbands are there for this month, September. But every month you get a shirt, you get a headband, depending on what you sign up for. It's $35 for the shirt. For the shirt and headband, it's $75. All right, you go to www.isbhpk.com/fringed up, and she'll put all these lovely graphics up on the screen for y'all. You know, we go through these announcements for anybody that's new. You might have new people that peel onto the show, onto class, and just giving this information out so they have it. All right. We got Hebrew Academy here in Houston every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Again, if you're local and you want to get outside of the formalities of class, you want to get a little extra, you want to become that priest, you want to learn how to edify, break down scriptures, breakdowns, how to march, how to pull scriptures fast, how to read the proper way for street speaking or in class. That's what Hebrew Academy is about. So we do it here on Tuesdays in Virginia, here on Tuesdays in Houston. In Virginia and Rochester, it's every Monday. So if you're in Virginia, you can show up to the school out there on Mondays at 7, Hebrew Academy. What's today? Friday. Or if you're in Rochester, you can contact Priest Kazakia. His number is 757-300-4047. And he can give you all the details for class, Hebrew Academy, flyers on Sundays, whatever they got going, if you want to be a part of that. What else? Donations. Donations. Yeah. If you'd like to help out, please do so. We got Passover coming up, right? And why am I talking about Passover now? Well, we know what happens when Passover starts to creep. We lose track of time, and then we got to scramble to get location, lamb, garments, right? There's a lot of things that go into Passover, so we talk about it 6 months early and we prepare for it 6 months early. That way we're not caught off guard. So we've already started to pay for and secure our location. We definitely need help with that. All right. I think we sent it out on our camp chat. It's like 4,000 or 5,000 for the location. So if you want to give anything towards that, I'm letting y'all know straight up now. The lamb is going to be like 4,000 or 5,000 if everybody wants to eat good, right? Everybody ate good last year, right? Who was there last year, right? Y'all left hungry, right? Stuffed, right? But that costs. It costs money, right? So we ask if you want to put money towards that. Whatever you send, you can say, hey, this is for the Passover lamb. We'll put it for the stuff for the Passover lamb. Hey, this is for the location to help out. Okay, we'll put it towards the location. Okay, so if you do feel like you're a part of this school, and if you feel like what we're teaching you is beneficial for you, do what you did when you was in church. What'd you do in church? When that collection plate came around, you was tithing, right? You was sowing your seed, right? And doing it what? Joyfully. There wasn't no half step like, You gave that because you believed. You believed in the message. You believed in what you were taught. You believed in what was being done. So if you believe, if you're a part of this school and you feel like you're a part of this school, we're asking for you to help out. We're not asking you to pay my rent, Kazakia's rent. We're not asking you to pay our car notes. We're not asking for that. We're asking you to help for things that are going to keep pushing the word. My car ain't got nothing to do with it. My house ain't got nothing to do with it. This is about the school. If you feel like you're a part of the school, do that real quick.
Judah, chapter 8, verse 25.
Right?
Moreover, let us give thanks to the Lord our God.
Right. And you see the different bills that we got, the rents. I mean, come on. Y'all see the rent. Almost $3,500 in rents for a few buildings. Internet. Remember, we have the internet to solely broadcast. Y'all, we don't need internet here. Nobody uses the internet except for the 2 days that we broadcast. Think about that. So that's an expense that we don't have to incur, but we do it for y'all's benefit. So what are we saying? We'll help out. If you're benefiting from what's going on, then help out. Read it.
Moreover, let us give thanks to the Lord our God,
Right.
which trieth us,
Go ahead.
even as he did our fathers.
Read 8 and verse 24. Salat.
Judah, chapter 8, verse 24.
Right.
Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren,
Right.
because their hearts depend upon us.
And this is what we have to understand. We depend on each other. We're dependent on to teach and to be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever state we're in, right? We're dependent on to do that. Y'all look for us to make sure that we fulfill our obligations and our duties regardless. I can't raise my hand and be like, oh, I can't do class today because my baby's sick. Or I can't do class today because I'm sick. I got to show up. Right? I got to show up and fulfill my duty. Right? And my obligation. Right? Go ahead.
And the sanctuary.
Right. But why? Because all these different things depend on us. The brothers, the sanctuary. What else?
And the house.
The house. Read. What else?
And the altar.
And the altar. What else?
Rest upon us.
They all rest upon us. Even you in YouTube land, it rests on you. If you're partaking of the word, then you should want to give so that the word is able to keep going to other people. All you got to think about it is, well, I'm benefiting. Who else can benefit? So, if you want to give anything, you can do so. Label whatever you're going to give. Label what if it's alms, if it's for the lamb, if it's for Passover building, if it's just an offering. Make sure you label it so we know what to put it towards going forward. All right, and we got the Wells Fargo account. You can mail things to the school. Any one of these schools, you can mail books. Sisters already done sent out books and apocryphers. We appreciate it. Those things are needed also. It ain't just money. It ain't just money that we're talking about. We need money for certain things, but then, yeah, you can send books. We got a nice little bookshelf back here, right? And it's not looking too thin. We got nice little Bibles, some apocryphers for new people that come in. We give those books to them. Y'all see that? So very important, very important. We're doing our part. We ask that everybody else do their part. Okay, so that's it for the announcements. Usually on Fridays, I know we don't go live here in Houston. We haven't been live in a long time. But usually here in Houston on Fridays, we go over questions. So I'm going to stick to the script, and whatever questions brothers and sisters got online or in class, we can touch on. But usually this is question day, because we don't do too many questions on Monday and Wednesday. So we do questions today, and then we try to take questions after Sabbath class tomorrow. So let's get. Oh, damn! Everybody's hand went up. Okay, even the kids' hands went up. They got questions. Begun. What's your question?
Yes, sir. My question is Mark chapter 2, verse 17.
Right. So, Marcy, what I need you to do, I don't know if you know how to do it. In the description of the YouTube, you're gonna write down where they're asking their question.
Okay.
Okay. So where we at?
Mark chapter 2, verse 17.
Mark chapter 2. Hey, you know what does questions show? Madonna.
It shows that you're studying.
It shows that you're at least reading. You know what I'm saying? That you're at least reading the Bible daily, nightly, and you know, there may be things you understand, there may be things that you don't understand, but you write them down. That's a proper way to study. You read whatever you don't understand, you mark it, you write it down, or you try to look for the precepts that go with that precept or that chapter or whatever it is. And if you ain't got it, then it's fine. You just ask the question. You ask the question in class. Nothing wrong with asking questions. Don't feel. You know why a lot of people don't ask questions? Why?
Because it takes a level of humility. Like, you need to set aside pride in order to ask the question.
Yeah. That. And then guess what? No question is a dumb question. No question is a dumb question. I still have to ask questions to my elders. I still ask, hey, let me hit you up about this, or let me make sure on this. There's nothing wrong with making sure before you speak on something. You guys sometimes ask me things, and I'm like, let me get back to you. I just want to make sure. So, you know,
What was the question on in Mark 2?
Mark what?
Mark chapter 2, verse 17.
The water.
Go ahead.
Mark chapter 2, verse 17. When Yahushua heard it,
Oh yeah.
he said unto them,
Yes, sir.
they that are whole have no need of the physician,
Right.
but they that are sick.
Right.
I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
Okay.
It's a breakdown of that scripture.
You sure? That's the scripture that's the scripture you want.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Because I can go all day with that scripture. But I just want to, you got a question? You got a question? Okay, let's hold your question real quick. We're going to come back to it.
I have another one also.
We're going to come back to that. Just give me a moment. What you got?
My question is I'm out of things. I'm just gonna say,
Okay.
what's the closest kin that you can lay with? 'Cause
What's the
like,
closest kin that you can lay with?
yeah, because like when Noah, when they got flooded,
Right?
and they were all like related, so what was the closest? How did they repopulate the world without breaking the law?
Right. Go to that's a good one. So his question is, what is the closest kin that the Bible permits you to lay with? Right? So where do we want to go? Let's go into the law real quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy. We want to go to and then you said about Moses replenishing the earth. or excuse me, Noah, replenishing the earth, right? What's that, Deuteronomy or Leviticus? About sexual immorality. It's, yeah, let's go to Leviticus, the 18th chapter. So the question once again is, what is the closest? What kin is too close to lay with, right? Well, for one, let's think of then and now. Let's think of time, the times then and the times now, and let's understand, well, what were we dealing with? What was the Most High trying to preserve? And what was just going on at that time? So, in the times of Abraham, the times of Rebecca, Jacob, in those times, there weren't many righteous. So he had us dealing with our kin, but not like brother and sister. It was cousins. So when you look at the relationship of Jacob and Rebecca, Isaac and Rebecca, they were cousins. Jacob, Leah, and Rachel, they were cousins. Because remember, Jacob fled to his uncle, Laban, and he took his daughters, which were his cousins. Those were his first cousins. Isaac and Rebecca were second cousins. You see that? So they were once removed. Now, in this day and age, that's not something that you would really do. There's no need for that, right? With all these people on earth, there's no need for you to, well, let me go take my cousin, you see what I'm saying, my uncle's daughter, or my aunt, nah, you don't do that because it's not needed. You see that? There's so many other people that you can deal with that are way removed, and the blood is not close, right? So go to Leviticus 18 and verse 6. Start there.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 6.
Right?
None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him.
Right, so the law tells us no one should approach that is near to kin, but then it's going to give us, well, what near to kin means in these different, when it starts naming the different types of family members. Go ahead.
To uncover their nakedness,
Right?
I am the Lord.
Right, to sleep with them, to uncover their nakedness. Go ahead.
The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother.
Right, so that's first and foremost. You can't sleep with your parents. As a son or a daughter, your parents are off limits. Right? But what do you got going on in this world? Don't you got women marrying their sons? Oh, I can't find a good man. My son is a good man. I'm going to marry him. It's sick as hell, but they're doing it. Go ahead.
Shall thou not uncover? She is thy mother, and shall not uncover her nakedness.
Right.
The nakedness of thy father's wife shall thou not uncover.
Right. So this is very important here. This is very important because you would think like, well, I already said my mother, but then why did they come back and say my father's wife? Because what? No, I want to see if you got it. What?
And like stepmother. No.
It could be in that. It could be in the instance of that, or it could be his other rib.
Oh, okay.
Right? Remember David and Absalom? What did he do? What did Absalom do? He slept with his father's wives. What did Reuben do? Reuben didn't sleep with his mother. He slept with Jacob's other woman. You see that? He slept with his father's wife. He didn't sleep with his mom though. You see that? Because just another scripture to show man can have more than one wife. See how I slid that in there? Right? Right. Go ahead.
Shall thou not uncover? It is thy father's nakedness.
Right. Go ahead.
The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father.
Right. So you're the daughter of thy father, the nakedness of thy sister. Go ahead.
Or daughter of thy mother.
Right. Or the daughter of your mother. Read.
whether she be born at home or born abroad.
Right?
Even the nakedness thou shalt not uncover.
Right, so when you read the story of Amnon, right, who is David's son, what did he do? Well, he raped his sister, right? That was David's daughter. So he wasn't supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed to lay with her. That's why she said this folly wasn't supposed to be done in all Israel. So he was, he's in the, well, that's my stepsister. Well, nah, your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, you wasn't supposed to lay with.
Or no stepsister either.
Well, in that case, that's not no stepsister. You got the same daddy. You got the same daddy, so there ain't no step. That's your kin. That's your blood.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right? Go ahead.
Okay. The nakedness of thy son's daughter.
So the nakedness of your son's daughter. So it's like if your son had a daughter, you weren't supposed to deal with your son's daughter or your grandchildren. You see that? No man was supposed to lay with his grandchildren.
Oh, okay.
Right? Read on.
Or of thy daughter's daughter.
Right?
Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover.
Right?
For there is thy own nakedness.
Right? Go ahead.
The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter.
Right? Your father's wife's daughter. You see that? So what would that be? That could be a stepsister.
Oh, okay.
Read.
Begotten of thy father, she is thy sister.
Oh, no, it says it. Begotten of thy father. So that's your sister. But think about it. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter. So what is that showing us? Well, what happened was Pops had another wife and had a baby with her. You can't lay with her. That's your sister. Right. Go ahead.
She is thy sister.
Right.
Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister.
Right. Your father's sister, who is what? Your aunt. Right? Go ahead.
She is thy father's near kinswoman.
Right. She's your father's near kinswoman, so you can't deal with her. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister.
Go ahead.
For she is thy mother's near kinswoman.
Right. Read.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not approach to his wife.
Right.
She is thy aunt.
Right. You see that? So it's giving you the proximity of the people you can't deal with. Plus, that would be adultery anyway.
Yeah.
Right? That would be adultery anyway. Your father's wife, your father's brother. Let's see here. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. Right? Your father's brother's wife. She's married. That's adultery, and you're not supposed to lay with her. Even if she, let's say something happened, and he was no longer in the picture, you weren't supposed to get with him. Too close in the family. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law.
Thy daughter-in-law, right? Now, thy daughter-in-law, who got struck for that? Was it Judah?
Yeah.
Judah got hit for that one, right? He uncovered the nakedness of his daughter-in-law. He promised that his son to that woman, but then he ended up laying with her. Yeah, so you weren't supposed to lay with your daughter-in-law. You see that? Go ahead.
She is thy son's wife.
And it's adultery. That's your son's wife. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
See, what the Bible is trying to do is shut down all the Jerry Springer. Y'all seen Jerry Springer before, right? Where they have like all that madness, right? Grandma sleeping with the grandson, and grandma stole my man. All that weirdo stuff. All that backcountry, southern, white, Confederate flag dealings. Most High was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna be doing that. And somehow, some way, we fell into that. Because we did. When you go into the New Testament, it tells you, Paul said it, that we were sleeping with our father's wives. Fornication that wasn't named amongst the Gentiles. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife.
Read.
It is thy brother's nakedness.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter.
Yeah, a woman and her daughter. You wasn't supposed to do what? Lil Wayne? He was big on that back in the day. Like I got the mom and the daughter. He wasn't supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to deal with a mother and her daughter. You got a lot of cats in the hood that does that. They'll be dealing with a woman, and what is he doing? He's creeping off with the younger daughter because she's the younger version, right? But the daughter be super young, 12. But that's why you women can't have your daughters around these strange men walking through the house in lingerie, with her ass out and you know, bending over in front of him. You got to show your daughters. That's why it says in it's Ecclesiasticus 7 and somebody go there real quick. Go to Ecclesiasticus 7. I think it's verse 24. It's 24 or 27. What's that?
That's like, it's in real life, like I've seen that literally happen in real life. One of my sisters would like walk around naked in front of my stepdad, like in just her underwear.
Come.
And years later, she's like, he used to touch me.
Well, why not? You opening that door. You opening that door. The one that says about the daughter. Read verse Ecclesiastes 7 and 24 real quick.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 24.
Uh-huh.
Hast thou daughters?
Right, there it is. Hast thou what?
Hast thou daughters?
Go ahead.
Have a care of their body.
Yeah, it says have a care for their body. Meaning what? Well, I'm going to show you modesty at a young age. You see that? Now, we have a lot of different situations in this day and time where you'll have a woman, she'll have children, she'll meet another man, and now this man has to be around her children, and they may be a little bit aged. You know, she may have daughters. They may still live with her. But you can't have your daughters walking around some other grown man just any old way. It says have care for their bodies. Or else you're going to turn into a situation where now this man is laying with you and then laying with your daughters. I remember I watched one video on Facebook. The little girl was telling her mom how the boyfriend had been like touching on her. And what did she do? Surely she went and beat old boy's ass, right? Nah, she blamed the little girl. She's like, see, it's your fault because you be walking around here with lingerie on, with your titties out. She went off on her daughter. Mind you, her daughter was like 14. But why you got your daughter walking around with her nipples out? Why you got her walking around in booty shorts with a grown man in the house? Right? I'm not saying that that's the justification for him to approach onto this young girl. But the Bible tells you, have care for your daughters. You shouldn't let your daughters even walk around their dad with certain attire on. My kids can't walk around me just with nothing on or in damn underwear. I'm like, man, go get your ass some clothes on. If it's too tight, they can't wear it. If it's too small, they can't wear it. If it shows just a little bit of an imprint of an underwear line, they ain't wearing it. So you gotta have that, because those are the things that's missing from the households. And this is why these laws get broken. This is why you'll have men laying with the daughter and the mother. Well, because he's enticed. You see that? Finish that up.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
Yeah, you got to give them some sternness. You got to give them a stiff face sometimes. It can't always be, you know how these dudes in the world, man, they spoil these little girls. Oh, that's my princess, and daddy's little girl, and she can't do no wrong, and hell nah. You treat her like that, guess what? She's going to grow into that, and that's how she's going to think that everyone should treat her. Like a princess, like she can do no wrong. That's why y'all see what's going on social media, the type of women that present themselves and how they present themselves. So, you got to be real careful. Go back to Leviticus.
All right, continue.
Continue on.
Or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswomen.
What verse are you at?
17.
Right, go ahead.
It is wickedness.
Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sisters to vex her, to uncover her nakedness.
Meaning you don't deal with sisters.
Oh.
Oh, well, she got a twin. I'm about to get with both. No. You weren't supposed to do that. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what are y'all thinking? Yeah, well, we can go there. Jacob didn't do that purposely. Go there real quick. Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis. Jacob, right? Go to Genesis 20.
29.
29.
Yeah, go to Genesis 29. Because we know that's what happened with Jacob. But you got to remember what type of man he was dealing with. Laban was shifty. Laban was a shifty dude. Go to Genesis chapter 29, and you're going to start at verse 21.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 21.
Go ahead.
And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife,
Right?
for my days are fulfilled.
Yeah, he worked the 7 years, right? For Rachel, that was what was promised. It was Rachel. He said, give me my wife. I worked for her. Go ahead.
That I may go in unto her.
Right?
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place,
Read.
and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him.
Right. So he brought her to Abram, or to Jacob, excuse me. Go ahead.
And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah
Go ahead.
Zilpah his maid for an handmaid.
Right?
And it came to pass that in the morning,
Right?
behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel?
Right? Didn't I serve for Rachel? Isn't that what we agreed upon? But see, Laban was real good at changing the terms of the contract in the middle of a damn contract. This dude was off. He was off. Go ahead.
Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
See, he didn't go in and like deal with her on purpose. It says it. He was beguiled. Go ahead.
And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country.
You know what killed Laban? The fact that Jacob worked those 7 years. He didn't think he was going to last. Yeah, work 7 years and you got that. He ain't going to last 7 years. Ain't no love that strong. He did it. He did it. He was shocked that he was going to do it. And see, Jacob upheld his end of the bargain. Laban just didn't. So, go ahead. Read on.
To give the younger before the
Then he
firstborn.
tries to come with this whole custom thing. It's not customary to give the younger before the firstborn, and try to come with all that crap, right? Where he could have just stuck to his word and let him roll, but he didn't. Go ahead.
Fulfill her week,
Right?
and we will give thee this also for the
Yeah, he
service.
said fulfill her week, meaning what? The only way you're going to get Rachel is if you fulfill the week. Was the marriage ceremony. You go through with the ceremonies. Fulfill her week, and I'll give you Rachel. But if you don't, then guess what? You're not going to get it. You're not going to get Rachel. Laban had that power. Go ahead.
Which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
Right.
And Jacob did so.
Right. You see that? So, I mean, he really wanted Rachel. He really wanted Rachel. You see that? That's what he was working for. So he didn't purposely go in to go get with Rachel and Leah and then vex them and break the law. You see that? The only way for him to get Rachel, the only way for him to get Rachel, he had to keep Leah. That's how Laban made that contract. But it was a contract, again, of beguilement. You see that? Jump back. You got your hand? No.
Oh, no.
Jump back to Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 18, last precept.
Right. 'Cause we definitely had a brother trying to argue this with us one time. Like, yeah, well, it just says to vex her. Well, think about it. Just think about it. 2 women that aren't sisters and that get with the same man, they're going to be a little bit like in competition, and right? So imagine 2 sisters. What are they going to do? What are they going to do with what Rachel and Leah did? They got into this competition. Who could bring forth the firstborn? Who could bring forth the sons? Right? They got into this back and forth. I'm going to bring forth. I'm going to bring forth. Right? So you just got to see that situation, regardless, if the man is not equipped with a high level of wisdom, it's going to be vexing to all parties. So the same brother that was fighting for that, like, no, but it says you can take the sister that he's the one that he ran out and got 50 ribs and can't do 10 baby mamas. Like, how you a Hebrew with baby mamas while you're a Hebrew? That doesn't make sense, right? Like, I got the knowledge, but I'm still creating baby mamas. How about you deal with a first wife, like the Bible says? Stop worried about what sister and her sister you can take, and deal with the ones in front of you. Right? That sounds make more sense, right? Right. Go ahead, read on.
Besides the other in her life.
Go ahead. It says in her life. Besides the other in her life, right? Go ahead.
Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness.
Right. So, right. When a woman is on her menstrual, you shouldn't be dealing with her. Right. So it kind of gave us in Leviticus 18. It gave us the different level of who you can lay with and who you can't. I mean, you want to know how Moses? I keep saying Moses. How Noah and their sons replenished the earth? They did what the law said. They dealt with their cousins. That's all it was. Remember, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They all had wives. So if I have a baby with my wife and my brother has a baby with his wife, right, and a baby with his wife, if I have a girl, or even if I had 4 girls and 4 boys, that's 8 new people, right? Let's say they have 4 girls and 4 boys, 4 girls and 4 boys. I give a son to their daughter and vice versa. So now you got 16 couples that are going to replenish, right? And then you keep doing that. And what happens is it starts to spread out anyway, because when Japheth moved to his lands, what did he do? He brought his people with him, right? And they started doing their thing. And then Shem went down. Ham, they went down, right? We were still dealing with Ham. They were living right in the midst of us, right? But Japheth was right there too. So that's all it was it went from it had to keep it lawful, the cousins, until the bloodline started to separate all the way out. You see that?
Yes, sir.
But again, in this day and age, do you got to go out and get your cousin? Nah, you never got to get your cousin. It's kind of weird anyway. Right? Especially if like y'all are close. That's yeah. Nah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
The water.
Right. Everybody clear on that. No kissing cousins. Right? Who else had a question? Ivy.
My question wasn't pertaining exactly to a certain scripture.
Okay.
I guess more my question was, trying not to make it so broad, but just like how do you, being young in the truth, like how do you keep your confidence strong and your growth in the truth? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Like, how do you,
So what I'm saying is that, like, I know at least for me, like sometimes I can feel like my confidence, like trying to get low, just being new and still learning certain things and still trying to do everything right the way I need to, and going through, the challenges and the different lessons and the chastisement that I need to get for my growth, and seeing people who has already grown so much, who's already build it up so much and they're already, sometimes that can try to affect my confidence in the truth. So how can I, just with all the trying to get better at everything I'm doing, how can I keep my confidence more in the truth?
right? Well, I got what you're saying. How do you keep your confidence throughout all the ups and downs, throughout all the Most High chastising, right? Well, first and foremost, go to Titus. So the question is, how do I keep my confidence while while living in the truth, right? Well, go to Timothy's real quick. Go to Titus 1:15, pure. Right, go to Titus 1:15 real quick. And
Right.
why am I going here? Well, because it's a mentality. Your mind has to be set a certain way, understanding that it's not the truth that's making you lose confidence. It's the things that you have to go through to get better, and even that, those things shouldn't make you lose confidence. Those things are just a benchmark for you to see growth. You see that? So it's really, how do I have my mindset towards the truth and the things that I'm learning? Go ahead, read that.
Titus chapter 1, verse 15.
Man, you know what? No. Hold that question, because it's too much to go over. It's a good class.
Yeah.
That'd be too much to. I'd be doing you an injustice if I just said here, go here, go here, and go here, because it just hit me. A whole class just hit me.
Okay.
So we're going to pause on that question.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna write it down here. Let me see here. Yeah, some things you gotta go in more. You gotta be more. One or two scriptures are not gonna do it justice.
Okay.
Let's write this down real quick. But yeah. What else we got? Besides my guns. Anybody
There's
else?
a question online, sir.
There's a question online. Okay.
It says, is fear and anxiety a demon?
Yeah, it's a spirit. Fear and anxiety is definitely, those are spirits. Those are things that they come over you. They come over you to make you move a certain way outside of the spirit. Right? So go to Timothy's real quick. Go to 2 Timothy 1:7.
2 Timothy 1 verse 7.
Right?
For God had not given us the spirit of fear.
Right? So it's letting us know right now that fear is a spirit. It's a negative spirit. It is a demon that is on a lot of our people. Fear, anxiety. Think about just getting anxious or over anxious about things. What happens to certain people? They start to hyperventilate. They can't breathe. They can't think. They move irrationally. So yeah, fear and anxiety are gateway demons for you to move hastily and add folly to stupidity. You see that? Those are spirits that, if you don't check them, they'll cause you to move irrationally. They'll cause you to say the wrong thing. They'll cause you to shut down. They'll cause you to act the wrong way. So that's why the Most High said it. He said what? 2 Timothy 1:7.
For God had not given us the spirit of fear.
Right. See, the Most High didn't give us that spirit. He didn't give us a spirit of fear. We said, you know what? We want that spirit on us. A lot of us call those spirits to us. Fear, anxiety, not understanding that, wait a minute, I can't let this spirit overtake me. So he didn't give us that spirit. Go ahead.
But of power.
But of what?
Of power.
He gave us the spirit of power, right? To do things in power. Go ahead.
And of love.
And of love, charity. Right? Go ahead.
And of a sound mind.
And of a what?
Sound mind.
See, a sound mind, a person that's anxious and fearful, they don't have sound mind. They don't have a soundness of mind. Now, what gives us the sound mind? What gives us the sound mind? Anybody? It's easy. What?
Wisdom, knowledge, understanding.
Right. Go to Isaiah 33 and verse 6. Isaiah 33 and verse 6. How do we keep our minds sound? And if I'm using the soundness of wisdom, what am I not? What am I not relying on? Well, I'm not relying on fear. I'm not relying on anxiety. I'm not relying on the what ifs. Right? So read Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6.
Right?
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability.
Read it again.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the
Stability.
of thy time.
Right? Or soundness of your times. When something is stable and sound, right? You can like, oh, I can stand on the sidewalk, it's stable. I can stand on this rock, it's sound. It's